A meeting to order. Pledge of allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Mayor Dave Dillon.
Here.
Council members Ken Mueller.
Here.
Norris Johnson.
Here.
Lindsee Larson.
Here.
Laurie Game.
Here.
Okay, item 4, review the 2025 preliminary budget and proposed 2025 tax levy.
All right. So from our work session that we had previous year, earlier in our special meeting, for this, oh, that's not pretty. Okay. Maybe I gotta do page down. That might work.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So one of the changes that came in was the small cities transportation aid. And this will be put under other state grants and aid. And that was $53,610. So the offsetting account for that is the streets under Public Works, as this is what it can be used for. So other than that, some of the other revenues did not change. And,
So is that's additional revenue that we hadn't counted on before?
correct.
Okay.
Yep. No other items changed under the state aid or grants. Total charges for services, nothing changed under that one. Push down a little bit. Public safety, there were no changes to revenue under public safety. Total culture and recreation, there still were no changes in that area. Airport fuel sales, and no change. Fines and forfeits, no change. Let me keep going down here. Hopefully it doesn't go too fast. Under miscellaneous revenues, we still had no change from our previous special meeting. Cable TV revenues, no change.
Was there interest earning change on that one?
No.
Oh, okay.
The 105,
Yeah, yeah,
125? Yep, that's, okay. Transfers will be the 8,000 still. That'll be for the trails. Transfer from the fire department reserve at 100. Transfer from the liquor store remains the same from our previous meeting at 300,000. Total transfers from other funds will be 408,000. Total revenue, general fund revenue, will be 2,866,000, so 79. General fund expenditures, council department, no change. Planning commission, no change. City manager, no change in budget amounts. City treasurer, no change in budget amounts. For the prelim contracted services, that remained the same as well at 106.5. City hall, we had no changes that impacted this area of the budget under City Hall. Police department, the only addition was $6,000 for that additional hire for the police department to get them back up to their 6. Fire department, no change in any of their budgets from our preliminary special meeting previously. Building inspections, no change. Get back up. Public Works, we had changes to wages and benefits. And then also changes to auto expense with a reduction in auto.
The changes
expense.
of the brighter yellow.
Yep, the changes that are done in brighter yellow. And you'll see here, improvement other than building and streets, that 53,610 that we received for that state transportation. Under parks, changes to wages were reduced as well, and benefits were reduced. Other than that, there were no other changes in that department. Seasonal employees, no change. Up here just a little bit. Under the library, no changes. Let's see, under the miscellaneous is still that 31 for the Initiative Foundation and the lease payment of the 31,316. Airport, changes to wages were reduced. Let's see, that one did increase a little bit just because of the allocation was changed. Get down. So general fund expenditures, oops, come back here. I hit the button. There we go. General fund expenditures equal revenues, so we have a balanced budget. Under special revenue, there were no changes to all the funds. Under charitable gambling, no changes. Fire relief, revolving loan fund, no changes. Special revenue, I'm gonna wait for it to catch up. Not gonna happen.
There you go. It's the mouse that messes it up.
Yep. Okay, so we didn't have any other changes in any special revenue funds. We can kind of move down a little bit. Oh. Doesn't like it to go fast, apparently, so. Veterans Memorial, no changes. We have very little donations coming in for the Veterans Memorial anymore. Debt service, nothing changed in any of the debt funds. So everything, all the new debt for 2024 is included in here, and the tax abatement bond from that ECE loan that we did earlier to purchase, so that one is in here as well. And our park bond, we have a street reconstruction bond still from 2019. Loader equipment expense, we still have that. Our TIF District 210 has not been established yet. We're hoping they build their 8-unit apartments in 2025. And then hopefully they complete their TIF district paperwork to get that completed. Enterprise funds. I just wanted to mention that our water rate studies, let me get that. Water rate studies, our first meeting with them via Zoom meeting will be October 21st. It's just going to be a Q&A session, basically on finances. So I'll be sitting with them, going through all of the finance aspect of the water and sewer funds. The second meeting will be November 12th, and they will present the water and sewer rate study on November 20th to the council. So we'll get that before the council so that we can include any rate increases under our water and sewer funds for the 2025 budget, and that would be included in the final budget process.
And that's necessary because of the painting of the water tower and
Yeah,
projects.
this is necessary because we have about a $1.5 million water tower rehabilitation project coming up in 2027. 2027 is going to be a big year with, we're going to have the roundabout, our leg of the roundabout, and then under that whole construction through the 23 corridor, we have 5 different areas of water and sewer main that will need to be replaced in those areas. So we have over $700,000 that we'll be investing in that improvement as well. So it'll be a big expenditure year. So we just need to make sure that our water and sewer rates are in line with everything that's coming up, and anything that we may have to bond for, like the water tower project, we will get put on the project priority list. And then for PFA funding, that'll be a 1% interest rate for PFA funding. And that's what we want to shoot for, is to get that low rate on those. So, and then if anything happens with the development property in 2025, let's say we had a business that said, I want to get out there now, I mean, we would have to look at probably spending down water revenue funds to accommodate those projects, to get the water and sewer installed. And we've been fortunate. All the fill that's been put out there has been free. So, I mean, that was a good benefit to us, to be able to take additional fill from the airport project and move that over to that area. So there could be a lot of activity in 2025. I'm anticipating Jared Worth to build, at least start one of his apartment projects in that area up on 10th Street. We're hoping for the Potato Patch. It is a different developer who has been in contact with us, and they said they may put a shovel in the ground next year as well. So, and the other thing that will be happening out at the bypass probably next year is going to be the meat market will certainly be open, but also Circle K will be putting in a diesel station, and they've already showed us their plans for next year.
Put in a what?
A diesel station.
Oh, diesel, okay.
Yeah. So that'll be coming, and it looks like they'll be using all of the other lot that we thought was going to be open. So it's going to be a big station just for the semi trucks coming in. So we do have that. So there's a lot of exciting things happening within the city. We're hoping that previous developers will start in and maybe some additional townhomes. So it'll be interesting to follow up with these meetings on the water and sewer rate study, just to see, are we in line? Are we behind? Do we need to do a catch-up? See how we can increase some rates, but not drastically, and still try to maintain what we have and what we need in the future. Because water and sewer funds in the future will have a lot of activity. So, but that's exciting. That's very exciting.
Well, a lot of those are going to gain us back,
Yep.
like apartments and things like that.
Yeah. The tax capacity is going to be great. Hopefully the water and sewer from, the 108 units, that it's going to be built. But they won't be built all in 1 year. You're going to have, 36 in 1 year and maybe another 36 in the next year. It just depends on how many he's going to build. So the water and sewer funds, it's very important on those, just to make sure we keep up with rates, so that we can, any debt we get under PFA, it is a requirement to make sure that our rates match, to be able to take care of our operating expenditures and our debt. Right now, we have no debt in the sewer funds. We only have 2 bond issues in the water fund. So we're doing good in that aspect as far as not being in large debt in these particular funds.
When will those bonds in the water fund be paid off? Are they coming?
have
Are they
the-
close or?
I think the one drops off in 2027, about the same time that we
Okay.
start another bond issuance.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that was kind of our goal, always just if a bond falls off, then kind of get some additional improvements done, so. A note on health insurance, that is still under review. We had the prelim at 17% increase. We're hoping that by the time they come back with their final rates, we'll have a reduction. We typically do have a reduction in those. Just found out today that dental insurance will be up 1.75. So under the water and sewer, there were only changes to the wages and benefits. So that was a reduction in those. You can see those. With our new meters, oops, I can go up here, sorry about that. Software and design with the new meters, that went up just because of the support that comes with all being digital now with electronic reads. So that did go up. And I adjusted dues and subscriptions here a little bit, just based on our year-to-date numbers. So on that one, you would spend down cash of $86,227. You would spend down more cash if you put in water and sewer into the Milaca Junction development in that area. Those funds are healthy. They're in the $900,000 range. Let me just, I got that here. No, probably don't. But we still have healthy funds, so we're not too worried about those funds at this point right now. Even the sewer fund is healthier than the water fund. Page down on that one. Again, in the sewer funds, the things, water and sewer funds, what will change is will all be based on that water rate study. Under expenditures, again, wages and benefits were reduced. Let's see, page down. There weren't any other capital expenditures. During our previous planning session that we had for the budget, CIP is down drastically. There'll be no big purchases. We're hoping that the fire truck that the fire department ordered, that was over $800,000, we will be paying for that this year. So that should be, you'll have a reduction out of their equipment reserve fund. So they will be short, as I said before. So that might be a topic for discussion when we go to their open house that they have.
Well, they might be short. Jesse
They-
thought they might be able to get
Okay,
charitable gambling
yeah. Okay,
or whatever they're,
they're really,
yeah.
fire relief. Okay. Yep. So we anticipate more donations from them then. Okay. Enterprise funds, they are showing a slight loss this year in revenue, because revenue is down. In a high inflation year, it's kind of typical that liquor stores will lose some of their revenue. So we kept it conservative with the liquor funds. And the transfer will remain at that $300,000 to come into the general fund for the liquor fund. There's no changes in the liquor fund to any of the expenditures. And then under, I'm gonna go up one. Under the DEP Reg, they are holding steady. They're down just a little bit, but I think they'll probably pick back up again. They're basically down in their cash just because of their improvement that was done to their office. But everything else looks pretty good for them.
How do they like the new setup?
They like it,
Good.
yeah. They are happy with it. So let me get down to, so let's look at, we'll go over to the bond schedule. Kind of take a look at that bond schedule. And this kind of falls in place. You were asking about when debt falls off. Let's see, the 2015 GO bond will fall off our debt schedule in 2030. Our 2019 debt will fall off in 2031. 2021, 22, and 24, we did the 5-year street improvement program. So we bonded for all of our street improvements, and you can see those are going to fall off in 2037 and beyond. And this year we just bonded for another street reconstruction, and that'll fall off after 2037 and beyond. The GO tax abatement for the purchase of the Milaca addition that will come off in 2034. Water, like I said, there's only two bond issuances for water. The 137 will fall off in 2026, so that'll coincide with our 2027 when we need to issue debt for the rehabilitation for the water tower. So it's good timing there. So that's why we kind of pushed that out a couple of years so that we could make sure that we had adequate debt for adding new debt. The Caterpillar lease, that will fall off the debt schedule in 2027.
You're good. It's not a big deal yet.
Okay. So now we'll go to, from our work session under our special meeting previously. It was originally, our levy was originally at 8.01%. Council reduced it, the 41,107, which then created a 4.9% levy. So it was lowered by 11,107 in the transition aid, and the council then reduced it 30,000. Okay. Let's see. Capital improvement projects. We have the 162 for bulletproof glass in the recep and police department area. Street maintenance, 15, just in pothole replacement, stuff like that. Seal coating, and then the boiler replacement needs to be done up at Public Works. Then we have nothing in parks or police. The only thing we would have underwater would be the engineer's estimate to put water into the Milaca Junction addition would be 166,250 in that area to put that in. Let's see. Sewer jetting is ongoing. Out at the airport, these are done by state grant. So that would be 12.5. We'll get the fuel reader and that It's a CZAP study that they need to do out there. And like I said before, without that study, if we didn't do the study, we lose 10 points on our grant applications, and we want to make sure that we get that 10 points. So that 12.5 is all included in that as well. The fire pumper truck, I think that one will be just fine. So we have a very light CIP for any improvements in 2025. Again, just talking about the Milaca addition. As you can see, water and sewer runs through this area right into our liquor store, and our liquor store is right here. Our development property is here. So we'll kind of work through the engineers, we'll work through the empowering cities, kind of lay out this property in the future, try to get the community involved. Like Dave has been working on this with the U of M and Molly, and where's Molly from?
She's with the U of M too, a different
Okay.
department, but Tom is the department head of the University of Minnesota Center for Design.
Okay. So it's,
And we did hear from the EV guy the other day about he had interest of
Yeah.
doing some more there.
yeah, he would like to do some more, but I did email him back with the property that's out there in that area. There is, Great River Energy has their lines there, and they have a 100-foot easement, and they don't allow, anything real tall in that area. So if they want to expand their EV stations, they have to go south. So it'll be interesting to see how the U of M kind of lays out that area. Yeah, so, there's lots of possibilities coming forth, with the city. It's really quite exciting to see some of this development that's going to be coming our way. So, let's see. Fire contracts, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. Again, every year I have to get the net tax capacity from every township, and then I do put all of that into my formula, which then comes up with what our fire contracts will be for each township. So that number that's in here is just a prelim number, a holding spot. So we'll see where that comes in when we do the final budget. And we start doing some workshops for the final budget as well. I just want to make sure that I covered everything. A couple of questions for council. I just wanted to know if you want to do any airport lease increases for the lot leases. So just want you to, those notices would have to be out October. So
Anybody looked at what the other airports, what is running?
it was interesting when we had the airport poker run, and I got to talk to some of these individuals that are from different states as well, and how it varies from state to state even on lot leases. Because they asked me what we charged, and they just said, you're super cheap, on what you're doing. They loved our airport. They thought it was great. We had some monster planes come in that day. Well, you were out there, and it was a great event that happened out there. Kind of showed off the airport. We're here. Hopefully in the future we can get maybe some development companies using it, which would be great. So
That would be good information to have, though. I'd be curious to know what Princeton is, Mora is, whoever, anywhere in that
yeah,
200-mile range, whatever.
Yeah, you need that if you're gonna, information if you're gonna increase
Yeah.
it, you justify it. So.
sure. I can certainly reach out to all of them and get that for you, and then I'll shoot you all an email. Let you know.
I know we looked at it, wasn't it last year we reviewed the, so.
Yep. Is there anything else council wants to review? within the budget.
I just jotted down one thing on that veterans fund. You know, there wasn't a lot of activity right now, but we have talked, Tim has talked about the shelter, the possibility of putting a shelter there, and there's money that was donated for that. So that might be something that starts moving again here
Okay.
soon.
Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, because that's been kind of quiet for quite a while with not very many donations coming in for the bricks anymore, so. Yeah. Anything else council wants to discuss regarding the budget? Any questions?
It'll be interesting to see how that, what effect the airport road has as far as getting additional leases or hangars.
Yep.
I mean, I asked you about the 20-year plan where you could do T-hangars.
Right.
So, but, and I've thought, some people have mentioned about, some young people have just got their CFI license about doing, light school or something.
Okay.
So, so I don't know.
Okay. Under the step schedule, there was nothing that changed in that area as well from our prelim review previously. Following the union contract, fire department. So, I think we're there. Cash balances. I think we're pretty good on cash. As of 7/31, our general fund had 1.7 million plus. So our funds are doing really good. Our interest is phenomenal that we're getting through RBC, which is great. So, yeah. Transfers. 208, we'll transfer that 8,000 that we've seen in the budget. That'll be transferred for the warming house and trail maintenance workers. There'll be the Relief Association. We'll transfer 100,000, and that goes into their equipment reserve. Transfer from the liquor store to the general fund will be 300,000. Transfers to the events fund will be the 1,000 for movies in the park, 500 for trails, and 10,000 for park activities, for other park activities. So, and we still have the MOU with RecFest to pay them their $1,000. And that will run till 2029. Okay? Okay. Equipment reserves. These have been unchanged since July. So your public works equipment reserves, so if they needed something major, something extremely happened with their equipment, let's say one of the dump trucks totally gave up and we had to go get another one, we could use our equipment reserve. Airport reserves of 6325, park equipment reserves of 111,520, police department reserves of 113. And the fire department reserves right now is at 548,622, which that will get used on their new pumper truck. Okay. And then there's a small one of park improvement reserve of 6726 and 61 cents. So, is there anything else? Just take a look here.
Those are all the changes that you sent us. I mean, we've gone over, yeah.
Yep,
Nothing's happened since then.
correct. Yep. So if council has any questions on the budget, anything from the council for any questions?
My only question is, now that transportation grant that we received, Is that, now I know that can only be used for streets. But streets are part of general fund? Yeah.
Correct.
I guess my question is, could we use, or could that be then kind of applied and reduce the increase in the levy?
No,
Why not?
because it's an offsetting.
But would it offset money we were already spending on
So you're
streets?
taking the 53,000 in revenue, and you're gonna spend it on your streets.
Right, but it was that money that we were already budgeted to spend, so are we
No.
saving 50,000?
No,
Weren't we spending anything on streets? I mean,
just very little maintenance.
yeah. But, I mean, does, I don't know, snow plowing or anything like that, isn't that?
Could it
part of
offset
streets?
15,000 in pothole repair money, that thing, that line item? That part?
Right.
I think that's what you're getting at, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But if you're looking at, because you talked about doing the sidewalk repair over there, so you'd more than likely have to do some bond issuance for that, and you could use this 53 towards that, to reduce that bond.
Okay,
Yeah. So you don't want to get your levy too low right now, because you're going to burn up cash. You will delete your cash funds, and you really don't want to do that.
right, I guess we can still try and, we got time to figure that out, if there's a way to,
yeah.
To make
That's
that
what I'm
work.
wondering if we can look at that and see if that can be used for something that was already designated in the budget towards streets.
yeah, 'cause we still have,
It'd be nice to get that levy down just
yeah,
a little bit more.
You've only
Yep.
got 15,000 in street maintenance.
right,
But that 15,000 even, that's another 1.5%. So that'd bring us down to close to
Correct.
3%, which,
I would wait to do anything until the final.
yeah.
right, but that's what, we'd have time to try
Yeah.
and find that kind of
'Cause
stuff
I think
between
if
now and
we,
then.
if we can get it down in that 3% or thereabouts, I can't see that anybody would complain. And that's what I'm going for. Is
Right,
Yeah.
right.
When we have
And
our final budget meeting, I
I
don't want
understand.
anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going to get phone calls.
Right, right. I don't
But
want-
the
I don't
other
want phone calls.
offsetting side to that is you're going to get phone calls when your city has to have limited cash available. So you don't want to get in that predicament either.
Right, yeah. But we're sitting in a good spot cash-wise and
But just remember, you've had a lot of low levies for many, many years when you look at the levy history.
yeah.
So for many years, you had even negative levies.
That's a good thing, though.
It's a good
That's
thing,
But
but you were spending down cash.
But also the levy is not, that's only like, what, 40% of the city revenues? So I think every year the budget, general fund budget grows, even if we have a negative levy.
But be careful, because
Right.
there are times when they have reduced LGA.
Oh, we had zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
been through that.
So you've been
Yeah.
through that before.
When the school did that too, you end up
Yeah.
paying
that-
for it
yeah.
if you spend down
That can
the.
happen.
Yeah, you gotta be very
Yeah.
careful of that.
Be very careful of that, yes. Because that's not a guarantee all the time, because they could reduce it.
Yeah, and I know that's happened in years, but it's a pretty rare thing. But,
But your point is good. I mean, we approve a preliminary budget tonight, but we still have a few months to keep,
yeah.
Looking at things.
yeah, working away and working away at it. Yep.
Because it would, I don't know, it'd be nice to get that down just a little further, just, because I know, we just got notice, Social Security's going up 2.5%. Well, that doesn't work out number-wise, so,
Yeah.
so
And
I'm
you got to
getting-
remember that all the equipment we buy, the inflation is hitting everything
Oh,
that
yeah.
we need to do in operating.
Well, street projects, it was obvious.
Yeah,
Yeah,
extremely.
oh,
So-
yeah, I know. But it hits every taxpayer as well, and they get a double hit because the taxes go up, plus they're still paying the inflation as well, too.
Right.
So,
Yep.
I don't know, but there's something to look at to see if we can
Yep.
trim anything anywhere.
It's the city too.
Yeah, that hits everybody.
Well,
and-
it hits us, and when we have an equipment breakdown, that inflation is an impact to our budget
Yep.
and can go over our budget. And when you go over a budget amount, that means you're burning and spending down your
Yeah.
cash.
But that's universal for everybody.
It is,
Yeah.
yep.
And I think we've been fortunate this year with some of the things staff has done. I mean, you know, we've talked about what Gary's done
Yeah,
with some of the new equipment that he's gotten on pennies on the dollar.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. of the
That's saved
equipment.
us, the city, a lot of money.
You'll get a $30,000 piece of equipment for $500,
Yeah.
you know,
Just
under
just
the,
like this.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
just, yeah,
this
the
thing was
table.
free.
And this whole item
Yeah.
here was free, we just had to go pick it up.
Yeah, so that's good.
So, and those are things that, thank you, Gary. I mean, thank you, the whole Public Works staff, because they worked really hard to go pick this up down the cities in a bad part of town and brought it back up here and reassembled it. So, really, if you see the guys, tell them thank you, because they worked hard on it, so.
Anything else we need out of your part of it?
No, I'm all done. Do
Okay.
you have any other more questions?
I'll entertain a motion for Resolution 2429, approving the preliminary 2025 budget and proposed 2025 tax levy.
So move.
I'll second that.
Any more discussion on it? I think between the two meetings, we got it covered pretty good. All in favor indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 2429, preliminary budget passes. New business, call for a public hearing on December 18th, 2024 at 6:30 for truth in taxation. Can I get a motion for that?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Any discussion on that one?
That's a regular
That's, I was just gonna
I
check
think we
that.
just did.
Yeah,
we move it?
that's
Is
the
that
one that
Wednesday?
we moved to December
Should be on
18th.
a
So it's
Wednesday.
set-
That Wednesday
Wednesday.
before, yeah.
Yep, okay.
Yep. And then the phone number to the city, 320-983-3141. Any taxpayer can call with questions regarding the truth in taxation meeting or any of the levy, the budget. They can call or they can write by mail to the city at 255 First Street East. And if they have any questions, they can certainly send those out.
Okay, if nothing else, all in favor of the public hearing? You need a you
Who was
needed
the
a motion,
motion?
right?
I
Who was
made the motion.
Yep. Who was the second?
Nora?
Norris.
Aye. All right, now indicate with an eye.
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing passes. Anything else?
I don't have anything else.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned 6:14.
Forgot to call discussion on that adjournment.
Yep, sorry.
You don't get to discuss it.